This breathwork technique comes from Raja Yoga, Tantric yoga. It used to be taught to kings and queens to accelerate their progression to enlightenment, and it is to activate the complete breath. In so many traditions, we see the breath as a gateway to the next level of human mind and capacity. So here I invite you to drop in to the full capacity of your lungs. So what we're gonna do is isolate each part of our lungs and focus our attention into it so that we're able to breathe completely. The idea is that we're never really breathing from our nose or our mouth. We create space in our body and the universe fills it. So how much space can we create? How much can we open up our muscles, drop our diaphragm, expand our ribs? And how do we need to manipulate our body to create even greater openings for that breath? So come to a nice tall seat. It could either be on the floor or on a comfortable seat on a sofa or a chair. What I really want for you to do is make sure your butt bones, your sit bones are rooted on your seat and your spine is built on top of that. Open your chest, roll your shoulders back. Take a deep sigh. Inhale all the way into your belly. Exhale audibly. 2 more times at your own pace. You could do the horse lips as well. Relax your eyes and your tongue. Release your ears. And start noticing that you can pull your breath all the way down to your belly as you drop your diaphragm, expand your gut. Just focus on that for a couple of seconds. Keeping the integrity of your spine throughout the practice. So we're going to separate each area of our lungs to give it the proper focus and energy as we pull our breath into it. So to start, I want you to think about breathing as deeply and completely as possible into the front body, low lungs. You can use your hands to make sure that you're expanding in this way. Inhale all the way to the belly, front body, low lungs. And this is the only part you want to focus your breath all the way to completion. And on the exhale, you're going to contract your whole core as one unit, completely. Now that you're getting a hang of it, we're going to start holding our breath at the top of the inhale for about 3 counts, just so your body can memorize this. It's called the brain-body connection. We're trying to create stronger pathways so that your brain and this area of your body are deeply connected. That's why we focus on it and we breathe into it. So just hold your breath at the top of the inhale to memorize the posture. Notice what muscles are being used, which ones are being relaxed, and how to assume this position later. Exhaling completely on the exhale. Emptying out. Beautiful. Now we're going to move to the side body, low lungs. So we're going to notice how our diaphragm has to drop, but also our rib cage have to spread open to bring expansion into this area of our body. So only the low lung side body, put all of your attention into this and expand it to the highest capacity. A great secret about this breath work is that you'll be expanding far beyond the time you are feeling an inhale coming in. So don't think about breathing, think about expanding. Keep expanding until you can't any longer. And then begin your exhale, complete contraction of the core as one unit. Now start holding your breath at the top of the inhale for about 3 seconds to memorize the expansion, to understand what it takes for this body to expand at this capacity and keep those muscles rooted in this expansion. Now we're going to focus on the back body, low lungs. So this area might feel a little dead to your in the brain-body connection, but it's somewhere in the low back. Maybe you round out the spine just gently so these muscles activate. Where you want to feel the expansion is on either side of the spine. The muscles kind of expand outwards and fluff up like a balloon. Pulling out your back body, expanding only into the low lungs back body. Contracting the core on the exhale. Maybe you begin to hold the breath at the top of the inhale for about 3 seconds. You can use the back of your hands on the back of your body just to see if this expansion is easier for you. Be gentle with yourself. If you don't feel it today, if you keep practicing, you'll feel it eventually, and it'll be a very strong expansion. Now we're going to connect the full low lungs in one breath. And even if you don't expand these areas completely, I want you to go down the checklist, noticing the front, sides, and back body independently and expanding them completely. So on the next several breaths, we're going to inhale all the way down to the low gut, expanding the front, side, and back lungs completely until we can no longer. And then we begin our exhales. And remember, you might keep expanding beyond the feeling of breathing in. So just follow the expansion, keep opening up. Hold the breath at the top of the inhale for about 3 seconds for the next 2 counts, or the two breaths you have. Beautiful. Now we're going to move on to the center lungs, front body. So on the next inhale, focus all your breath right in the bottom of your heart, front body, middle lungs. This involves your rib cage kind of gently lifting upwards, as well as your diaphragm dropping. So the expansion is kind of an opening of accordion almost. It's a spreading. Maybe your shoulders even open up a little bit more as you tilt your chest towards the sky gently. It's like a opening from the inside. Your ribs are spreading and there's more availability for light energy, air, chi, prana. It's as if you're opening upwards and outwards. On the next several breaths, you're going to try to hold at the top of the inhale for about 3 to 4 seconds, memorizing this posture in your body. Keep breathing in all the way down. Exhaling completely on the exhale. Relax your face. Make sure your spine is nice and tall. And keep going. Beautiful. Now we're going to focus on the side body, middle lungs. So right on the sides of the chest, lower than the armpits, much lower, about 5 inches lower, on either side of your heart. I really like using the back of my hands here just to feel the push against them so that I can really focus that expansion into the rib cage. Maybe you still feel the lifting of the upper half of the body as you take a breath here. Expanding the ribs, noticing what muscles are used, how your diaphragm drops to create space. And only breathing into the side lungs on the middle quadrant. Noticing how on the exhale we have to contract our ribs inward to create that full exhalation, releasing all of the air. Begin to hold your breath at the top of the inhale to really understand this posture, help your body and brain make the stronger connection to this expansion. Pulling in the ribs on the exhale. One more breath here. Beautiful. Now we're going to focus on the back body center lungs. This might also require a rounding of the back. And you're going to feel in the mid-back really like a balloon opening up and outwards. And if it's, again, a little bit less connected with the brain and body, just know where you're walking towards and be gentle. Allow the space to open to you. Don't force it. But focus. Just allow your body and mind to drop in and notice the muscles around your spine. How can they open and expand on the breath? The inhale, you're holding the breath at the top for about 3 seconds, 4 seconds, just to feel what it feels like to hold this beautiful ballooning of the back. Last one. Beautiful. Now we're going to connect the full middle lungs. So on the next several breaths, we're going to focus on pulling our air into the front side and back body of the center lungs. And again, if you are feeling like there's a lack of connection in any of these areas, go through the mental checklist, put your energies and thoughts into it. Where thoughts go, energy flows. So the more we think about these areas, the more they will become alive within us. Breathing completely into the center lungs, filling up the side body, opening the rib cage, maybe rounding gently to allow the back body to open as well. All in one breath. Doesn't have to be super slow. You can go at your own pace, whatever feels comfortable for you. And on the exhale, contracting the whole lungs as one unit. Emptying of air completely. If it feels welcoming. Definitely hold at the top of the inhale here, because it'll help you memorize this full expansion of the middle lungs. Give me one more beautiful long breath and even longer exhale. Beautiful. Now this top chest breathing, or the upper lung breathing, might be a little bit more familiar to us, since a lot of our shallow breath stays just in the top of the lungs. But this time we're going to find the full expression of it. So rather than it being shallow, it's going to be very complete. This one kind of feels like your chest is rising towards the heavens. And as you inhale, your shoulders come up a little bit, maybe they open, and your chest spreads, and your whole body gently lifts upwards. So inhale completely in the front body, top lungs, for the next several breaths. When you feel comfortable, you can start holding at the top of the inhale for about 3 seconds. Really feel this pulling upwards energy for this breath. It'll help you expand more rather than outwards. So your ribs are getting taller as you pull your breath upward. Keep your exhales as complete as possible. Exhales are even more important than the inhales in that they are the detoxifiers. They're the ones that are cleaning our lungs, emptying them from the low lungs is very important. So following the exhale to the completion will allow you to detoxify at a very high rate. It is one of the strongest elimination pathways of the body. As you feel ready, we're going to start focusing on the top lung side body. This is kind of right underneath your armpits. This breath feels like it's coming into the shoulders. It's coming all the way up into this your armpit area. It lifts your body as well as expands it outwards to the sides. Wherever you can find this connection, start creating that brain-body expansion, this pathway getting stronger. Contracting completely on the exhale. Holding your breath at the top of the inhale for about 3 seconds for the next 2 breaths. Finally, we're focusing on the top body, back lungs. So maybe your shoulders round gently and your chin tucks a little bit. And we're going to feel this expansion, the rounding of the back, the opening of our shoulder blades, spreading of them, and the lifting of the spine. So breathe as deeply as you can and expand and round the back body. You'll definitely feel a lifting upwards and outwards. And again, if this area just feels a little bit out of reach, just keep practicing, and before you realize it, you'll be breathing deeply into the back body. It is a blind spot for some of us in the beginning, but it is your body. You are deeply connected to it, and the more we focus on it, the more it just awakens. Maybe you start holding your breath at the top of the inhale for a few counts. Beautiful. Now we're going to connect the top lungs, front, side, and back body. You're just going to go through each area and make sure you're pulling in breath into it, expanding it as much as possible, following the expansion more than the inhalation, and holding at the top of the breath for about 3 counts, and then exhaling completely as one unit. So we find that gentle lifting upwards, expansion outwards. Maybe round your back just to find the back body for the end of the breath. Maybe you hold, and then you exhale completely. Following this pattern, inhaling, rising, expanding upwards and then outwards, side bodies opening. Gentle rounding of the back to find the full expression. Holding at the top of the inhale. Exhaling completely. Following your own breath for 2 more rounds, and then I'll meet you at the next exercise. As you keep progressing on this path, your breaths will get a lot longer. And just remember, it is not about feeling as if you're breathing, it is about expanding. Even if you have a micro expansion happening, keep following it. You want to follow it to the highest depths of expansion in life and in breath. So now that we have activated each individual portion of our lungs, this is where we combine all the teaching. So in the next 7 to 10 breaths, we're going to try to connect all of the lungs, front, side, and back of the low lungs, middle lungs, and top lungs. And even if you don't expand into each one completely and for the longest duration, I want you to at least go through the checklist of thinking about each area with devotion, putting your energy into each area, noticing it, and honoring it. You can manipulate your body as you move through the flow of the breath however you need to, however it is comfortable to create the space for more breath to come in. So we're going to start at the low lungs, allowing our diaphragm to release, opening our gut, moving our energy into the side body, back lungs, middle lungs front, side and back, top lungs front, opening up, out, side and back. Holding the breath and exhaling completely. Follow that pattern, and we are filling up from the bottom to top like a cup of water, which is why we follow each area completely from the front to the back before moving up. You got this. Keep going. Stay focused. Relax your tongue and your eyes. Find any tension in your body that does not need to be there and allow it to move through you as you breathe. Soften. Keep the back strong and also supple. Going, you got this. Soften your inner gaze. Allow the opening. Allow it to unfold. Give me 1 or 2 more strong breaths like this. And whenever you're ready, you can come to a normal breath. Notice the frequency of your body as you come back to a normal breath. Notice if there's any colors behind your eyelids that you aren't noticing because you aren't thinking about it. Is there any tingling in your body? Is there any sensation that requires your attention? Breathe into that. Maybe your knees are hurting, maybe your hips are not comfortable, or your feet are going numb. And just notice that. All these discomforts arise and pass. That is the truth of all things. As you're ready, you can gently lower your gaze and lift your eyelids. Assalamualaikum, Mary Jaan.
I like it.